Other news has been reported over the last few days that two Army service dogs who have saved hundreds of lives while on duty in Afghanistan are to be put down. But luckily for dogs Kevin and Daz, it seems this might not really be the case. Our defence correspondent is joining us now, Alistair Bunker. What's the latest on this?
So these two dogs, both served in the military. I think this is Kevin, the other one Daz. I think they're around 9 years old. And what happens to military dogs when they come to the end of their service is that they go under a process, a sort of a rehabilitation, a desanitization process, if you like, to get them ready or to see whether they are capable of being rehoused. Because obviously these guys are trained to be operating, well, yeah, bluntly, they're trained to be pretty aggressive, operating in war zones. I think that's probably either Iraq or Afghanistan, and to then put them back out into the public. And for the public safety, they need to be kind of untrained, if you like. So the fate of these two dogs, we're told, hangs in the balance, because it might be that the military decides to put them down instead of rehouse them.
OK, well, stand by if you would, please, Alice, because we want to bring in from Hereford, Jane Shenston. She's the founder of German Shepherd Dog Rescue. Hello to you, Jane. Thanks for joining us on Sky News this afternoon. So, dogs like these, how difficult is it to retrain and rehome them?
Well, we wouldn't have any problem retraining them and rehousing them. We've done it before. I would point out that we never put dogs to the MOD because we know that many of them, it's a one-way ticket and they don't get a happy retirement.
What is it? Do you appreciate the challenges, though, Jane, or is it relatively straightforward to try to deactivate them, if you will, that they're not the sort of aggressive animals that we need them to be in times of war?
Well, the breeds that they pick are breeds like German Shepherds and Malinois, and they pick them for a specific reason. They've got the type of characteristics that they can hone to make them good working dogs. So, I mean, you wouldn't, for instance, train a Labrador to be an attack dog, would you? Really, you've just honed the natural characteristics of the dog. And I think once you take them away from the working environment, then I think you can retrain them and carefully rehome them. I'm not saying they're suitable for many homes, but there are people out there who can work with these dogs and who can give them a long and happy retirement.
What sort of homes do you tend to find for your dogs, Jane, that have been with you at the rescue centre there?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, most certainly. I wondered what sort of homes the dogs that you save, you rescue and then you rehome, where did they go? Is it sort of former police dogs? Are they going into homes where they're used to dealing with gun dogs and the like?
Well, we haven't rehomed quite so many working dogs recently. We used to rehome quite a lot of ex-police dogs, so I'm a little bit unsure what's happening to these dogs. But we rehome a lot of German Shepherds that come into rescue because their owners can't cope with their characteristics. They haven't researched the breed properly. And you know, most people know they are a working breed. And this dog here that's lying by my feet, she is also a working dog. And these are quite difficult to rehome. So we have a very thorough process. And what we do is we look for homes, we go and home check them, we spend a lot of time talking to them, and we make sure that we match the right dog to the right home.
Jane, hi, it's Alistair Bunker, defence correspondent here. I was interested in what you were just saying earlier on, I think in your first answer, about if they go back to the MOD to be rehoused, it's often just a one-way ticket. I mean, is that the reputation that the military has? Because, of course, the military will say that they take expert veterinary advice, but does the military have a reputation for putting dogs down more often than not?
Yes, I think this hit the press a couple of years ago when they were highlighted for doing the same thing. The problem is that the MOD regard these dogs as property, and when they've come to the end of their working life, that they can be disposed of. We regard them as serving soldiers, and that they should be offered a happy retirement in the right environment for them.
The MOD telling us, Jane, that not necessarily these dogs would be put down, but you heard differently, didn't you?
I mean, I was contacted about these dogs through social media initially, and I have said that we will rehome the Malinois because that's the type of breed that we can rehome. And although we don't have our own centre, we have facilities that we can use around England and Wales where we can rehabilitate these dogs. Don't forget, these dogs are multi-handled as well, which I think makes them easier anyway. They're not just bonded with one handler. Lots of handlers use these dogs, so they can't be that aggressive that they'll accept different handlers.
It's not just a problem with the MOD, though, is it? It's a problem with the law, and police dogs are seen as property as well, so that they're not seen as animals. So if you injure a police dog, it's seen as injuring property. I'm guessing it's the same with other service dogs.
Yeah, I mean, they are regarded as property. I mean, the police have a slightly better reputation in that they will try to rehome their dogs at the end of their working life, but it's the MOD in particular that we have a problem with. And as I said, we would never rehome a dog to the MOD, no matter what.
Physically, Jane, what condition are the military dogs in? Because they've had a fairly tough working life. Do they therefore have ailments that are synonymous with that kind of life that they've lived?
I think you'd have to see each dog, you know, on an individual basis. I mean, I'm assuming that they're retiring them at 9 because that's a good age to retire them. I don't think they're going to have the stamina much beyond the age of 9 years to do the sort of exercise and you know, the work that they're being required to do. So, no, I think they just deserve a happy retirement. I don't know, they might have a bit of arthritis, who knows? As I say, it would be individual assessment for each dog.
OK, it's good to talk to you, Jane. Thanks so much indeed for taking the time. And that dog looks very peaceful at your feet. It's good to speak to you. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot. MOD saying that they weren't necessarily putting these dogs down. I'm hearing from Jane that it's generally a one-way ticket.
Yes, I mean, Jane clearly talking more generally about the reputation that the Ministry of Defence have. The MOD tell me, or the Army say, that actually no decision has been taken about these dogs at the moment. They'll have to go through that process of determining whether or not they can find a home for them. I think we've just found a home for one of them, at least. Jane saying that she would take the Belgian Malinois. So
get on the phone.
We'll see what happens.
Get on the phone right now and let us know how you get on. Alistair Fenide, thank you.